Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for coming here tonight, and welcome to the 2025 Community Service Awards Dinner. My name is Susan Harris, and I'm the Executive Director of the USC Joint Educational Project, otherwise known as JEP. And it's truly wonderful to see so many of you here in this room tonight. Please do go ahead and enjoy your salads as we get the program going. So for those of you who may not be familiar with JEP, we are a service learning and community engagement program based in the Dornsife College of Letters, Arts, and Sciences, and work under the auspices of the Office of Experiential and Applied Learning. We work with faculty to create a wide range of experiences for students in Los Angeles communities. In particular, we work with partners to place USC mentors, tutors, and teaching assistants in K-12 schools to support young learners. And we also partner with nonprofits, clinics, and other organizations to provide opportunities for students who might be interested in going into public interest law or the healthcare fields or public service. Most of our partnerships are with organizations that serve children and families in the neighborhood surrounding campus. And nearly all support and advocate for systems-impacted groups, including low-income families and older adults, immigrants, individuals experiencing homelessness, and foster youth. We will hear tonight about the extraordinary dedication of students, as well as faculty and staff and community partners, whose work with these organizations has had a profound impact on everyone involved. But before we get started, I'm going to direct your attention to the screens for a special message from President Carol Folt.
Hello, JEP family. It is such an honor to kick off tonight's ceremony, and I sure wish I could be with you. To know JEP is to love JEP. You are almost as famous as the Trojan Marching Band. I have been so lucky to celebrate JEP over the last 6 years, and I thought I'd share just a few highlights. In 2023, I had the honor to award the Presidential Medallion to JEP, because it is one of our highest honors going to one of our most important organizations. And the year before that, we celebrated JEP's 50th anniversary together. At that big event, we recognized JEP's impact and the many amazing individuals who have been driving its success. Trojans like Brenda Pasante. Tonight, she celebrates 50 years at JEP. Fun fact, she is JEP's third employee ever and one of USC's longest serving employees. And she is all about our students. Happy golden anniversary, Brenda. I think most of you will agree that JEP is more than a program. It truly is a community. And it is a community that touches thousands of lives, and it empowers us to serve, to lead, and to grow. As a professor and as a university president, putting and keeping students at the center has always been my North Star. JEP does that and so much more for more than a half a century. Truly, JEP represents the very best of USC. And I want to thank you all for all that you do to keep this wonderful, important Trojan legacy alive. Congratulations on another successful year, and as always, fight on and serve on.
As President Fulton noted, JEP is more than a program. It is a community of care and support that touches thousands of lives. For more than 50 years, JEP has dedicated itself to connecting individuals across different lived experiences. It's wonderful to see so many members of the extended family here tonight. We have students. Where are our students? Woo! We have community partners from schools and nonprofits. I see some of you over here. We have faculty, we have staff, we have supporters, and a special shout out to the JEP alumni, our former student staff who came out in force tonight to celebrate Brenda. Truly, this dinner is one of my favorite events of the year, as it brings us together to commemorate our collective efforts, action, and impact. And yet, this year feels different. It is objectively different. Even as we gather for this very happy occasion to celebrate the remarkable achievements and milestones of our award winners, it's impossible to ignore the challenges unfolding in the world around us. From the fires in Altadena and in the Palisades, to the norms and social contracts being shattered by the minute, these are unprecedented times. Threats to our educational system, from pre-K to postgraduate, jeopardize the work that we're honoring here tonight. And members of our community face existential threats to their livelihood, to their homes, and to their very identity and beings. The current social context changes the significance of an event like this, and it's important to acknowledge that. But doing so does not diminish the occasion. Indeed, it heightens our appreciation for the effort that it takes to do this work and makes us grateful for the opportunity to recognize it. So we come together tonight to celebrate, to share laughter and joy, and to be inspired, and we will surely be inspired by the stories we hear tonight. And importantly, we gather to voice our support for the work that's being done by our awardees, work that centers human dignity and the diversity of human experience, work that addresses inequities in the K-12 system and other institutions, work that provides safe, inclusive access and spaces for vulnerable or underrepresented groups. The Community Service Awards Dinner offers an opportunity to reflect on the value of service and community engagement and to actually name those values. The JEP staff, both our student staff and our professional staff, recently explored an exercise to reflect on what our values were. And we asked ourselves the following questions. What does it look like when we are doing our best work? And what values are reflected in our descriptions of our work at its best? Here is the list of values that we came up with. It's a pretty lovely list, don't you think? Of the nearly 100 values or words that came up through this exercise, the 5 that came up most were collaboration, community, connection, curiosity, and partnership. Imagine a world where leaders were motivated by these principles and by the other words on this list. It gives me hope to know that our student leaders, who will be our future leaders, were instrumental in generating this list. And that, in fact, these are the very qualities of the work that we'll be celebrating tonight. Our winners are all exemplars of servant leadership at its best. And we will begin by recognizing an individual who has dedicated 5 decades of service to USC and to our local communities, a person who represents the very best of JEP and someone I am proud to have as a friend and colleague, Brenda Passante. Delivering the honors tonight is an amazing advocate for this work, the former longtime director of JEP and current associate dean of the Experiential and Applied Education Office in Dornsife. Please help me welcome Tammy Anderson to the stage.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. Oh, come on. Really? You're going to leave me hanging like that? Please. Okay. It's bad enough I have to come up with a fan because, you know. Whew. Okay. So thank you, Susan, so much for the introduction. I'm so happy to be here tonight to present the Dornsife Award for Exceptional Service. This award was established back in 2013, recognizing individuals who are extraordinary and who have shared their time, talent, and treasure with USC students and community partners through their support of the Joint Educational Project. We've recognized many of our most supportive partners with this award, including a few people that I recognize here in the audience. I'm going to call your name. I won't make you stand, but maybe you could kind of just wave. Oops. Yikes. Martin and Sylvia Cass, who have for many years volunteered and secured funding for JEP's medical STEM program. The Office of Financial Aid, which has been a huge supporter of our Readers Plus program for work-study students. Representatives here tonight from Financial Aid are Evelyn Lopez, Samantha Morales, and Lance Wright. And Brandon Ramirez, Director of Corporate Social Responsibility and External Relations for Hyundai Motor Company, America. Brandon has been a tremendous supporter and volunteer for JEP's Young Scientists and Wonder Kids programs. Thank you all for your dedication and long-term support of JEP. Well, thank you. Let's see, where am I? Tonight, I'm thrilled to recognize someone who has literally dedicated a lifetime of time, talent, and treasure to JEP. Brenda Diaz Pisante. She is celebrating 50 years of service to JEP this spring. Let me tell you why Brenda is so beloved by members of the JEP family. She came to JEP as a young lady, eager to put her meticulous bookkeeping skills to work. Managing money was and is her forte. And when the personal computers became available, Brenda was excited to explore the various software applications to see which best fit JEP's processes. She quickly became our unofficial Director of Technology. After a few years of demonstrating her dedication and strong work ethic, Brenda was promoted to coordinator and then later Director of Community Programs and Partnerships, where she took on the critically important role of liaison between JEP and its partner schools. Our JEP coordinators, they're out here somewhere. Where are the coordinators? Yay, okay. Woo! These fantastic people are employed by their school, and they manage the JEP program for their site. Brenda created an efficient process for managing students' availability with teacher requests. Together, every fall and every spring, they get together, and in 2 days, they place over 800 students in our community schools. It's kind of an amazing thing to witness. Let me also mention that these coordinators are not paid for all the extra work hours that they put in, and they constantly go above and beyond for JEP and for their dear friend, Brenda. So thank you all so much for all you've done over all these years. Brenda is never one to rest on her laurels, and always looking for new ways to expand her knowledge and be of service to JEP. She asked at one point to please let her supervise our JEP program assistants. The PAs are peer educators who train, guide, and assist in the evaluation of student participants. So shout out to all the PAs out there. Make some noise. Annually, Brenda selects a team of current PAs to join her in recruiting and interviewing new PAs. This is a coveted position on campus, and it's a quite competitive process. Over the years, she and her team have a great record of selecting only the best candidates. Brenda has only terminated 2 PAs in all of these years. Right, not too bad at all. In addition to her day-to-day responsibilities, Brenda organizes an annual 4-day training retreat. This is a huge, huge undertaking, as there are typically some 70 staff, professional staff, graduate students, and undergrads. The logistics, in my opinion, are nightmarish. From exploring possible sites, negotiating with the selected hotel, working with their staff, to maintaining communication with all of the student staff over the summer. But Brenda thrives in it. The staff has established the Brenda Pesante Training Retreat Fund. It is my hope that all of you will help us raise money for this wonderful opportunity to train our students, because if we don't train them, they'll go out, and I know our students are fantastic, but they still need some training. When I became JEP director and could no longer oversee the selection process of the Extraordinary Community Service Award, which you'll see that person, that awardee later, I asked Brenda to take on that task, and she was happy to oblige. From what I have shared with you thus far, it's easy to see that her work at JP is not just a job for her. It's her passion. She's made serious life choices centered around what is best for JEP. Most recently, she had suffered with terrible knee pain. Her doctor recommended a knee surgery. And the first thing she did was to look at the calendar to see when her absence would be least problematic for JP. Okay, I said I wasn't going to do it. Okay. I brought some. I was a Girl Scout. My fan, my tissues. Okay, so Brenda, I'm talking to you now. Oh, okay. All the good stories I'm not telling. Trust. My goodness, so many experiences. Some made our hearts sing. Like, remember the student who came in crying because she had an assignment for high school and she wanted to change it to elementary. And after speaking with you, she agreed to give it a try, and she loved it. And she became a PA and was with us for 3 years. Okay. Or when we recognized Pat Strickland from Magnolia, she was a JP coordinator, and we realized that she had been a coordinator for 25 years. So we gave her an award. We never could have really paid her for all of that. But it was wonderful. Other experiences have really challenged our patience, like all the mandates that made placing students in the community so much harder, like arranging for TB tests and live scans for over 1,000 students. Still, others made us break into laughter, like how we finished each other's sentences and we'd break into some old R&B song. Or back in the 80s, we'd meet for coffee every Thursday and recap Dynasty. Did you see that? She called her okay. As I think about your time at JP, it struck me that you have been that person for members of our large JP family. You have been a second mom, a cheerleader, a confidant, mentor, advisor. You celebrate our achievements, offer us shoulder to cry on, and always make yourself available when needed. we've collected some of these stories about what you have meant to those who know and love you. Please turn your attention to the screens for an appreciation. And special thanks to Catherine. Where are you, Catherine? For producing this video.
I need a whole 30-minute segment to describe how it has been working with Brenda. But in short, sweet words, it has been amazing. It has been wonderful. It has been a learning experience. It has been an honor, and it will continue to be a privilege to be part of her team.
You know, to this day, I still say you're the best boss I ever had and the best mentor I could have ever asked for.
Brenda, your leadership has shaped so many of us, and the impact of your hard work is felt far beyond JEP.
Whether it was through encouraging me to just slow down and enjoy the process, or to give people the benefit of the doubt no matter what, I learned so much from you, and it's honestly the reason that I am who I am today.
Something I really appreciate about her is that she is able to really focus and put her full passion and devotion and warmth into her role, and at the same time she loves to have fun. I know that she loves the Disney trips, she loves the JE puns.
You set the standard for leading with love, for offering trust and empowerment, and always providing the support I needed to be successful. So much so that it never occurred to me that I wouldn't be successful.
Was about 21, I think, when we last hung out in earnest, and that was half my life ago. So thank you for having such a big impact in the first part of my life, but really, as Vince was saying, on so many other thousands of folks.
Not many people in their professional lives can say that they did something that was just absolutely ridiculous.
As Associate Dean of Experiential Learning, I want to thank you for all you've done to make JEP an internationally recognized model service learning program. And just for me, thank you for being my forever friend. Now, I just have one question for you. After all these decades, how is it that we still look so damn good? Mujer, come on up here. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try and do this without crying. Ha! No. I've been crying already for 1 week, and I haven't even retired. I was telling Tina the other day, I said, I don't know what's gonna happen to me when I do retire. I think, yeah. Yeah, so, Thank you. I've known Tammy for so long, many, many years. We've been through a lot together. I went to her. Anyway, yeah, and I know. Went to her wedding. Dick Cohn, one of the directors, and Jean came to my wedding. Neither one of our marriages lasted, but that's okay. But the friendship did. And the kids too. Like David is here and I love him, and Ross, her other son, and it's just been, yeah. Okay, so first and foremost, I'm deeply honored and humble to be standing here tonight accepting this award. It truly means a lot to me, and I could not have achieved this without the support and encouragement of many individuals. I have had the privilege of working with all the JEP directors, all of them, beginning with Barbara Seaver Gardner, which was the founder of JEP, and then Dick Cohn, which is one of my mentors, and his family is somewhere here. Where are you? Somewhere. Yay! And we've kept in touch all these years. And of course, Tammy Anderson, which I will always keep in touch, and Susan Harris. So they're just incredible directors that have each taught me so much. This is the harder ones back here. To my family, and colleagues, thank you for always being there for me and being my support system. My kids used to come with me to work once in a blue moon, not all the time, okay? So I know. But they remember being here since they were little, very little. I mean, maybe 3, 4 years old, and like Tammy knows a lot of them, all my kids, and I know her kids. So thank you for your love and your support and always being there for me. Your love, your patience, and guidance have shaped me who I am today, and I share this award with each and every one of you. I thank all of you here who do exceptional service to the community. I mean, there's so many students that will be getting awards today that I have heard everything that they're doing out there, and it's amazing and wonderful. But I also want to thank all of the donors, JEP donors that help us and donate money to keep our programs going, which is so important because we're able to offer a lot of these programs for free to our families in the community. So, for an example, to be mentors and tutors and TAs, programs such as Readers Plus, STEM, education, children health volunteers, and pre-law program. Okay, let me tell you something. When I first started here, and we do this in the office all the time, okay, and I know I'm short of time. Okay, so I'm always giving stories. Like, I remember back in the day when, just like Tammy said, a lot of the stories about no computers, it was just typewriters, and so we didn't have a STEM program. We didn't have children health volunteers, which was actually created by a student, and the pre-law program. So I have seen JEP go through so many phases with different programs, and even our house, the JEP house, remodeling and everything that has changed. I have so many memories, too many to actually go through. I'm glad that at least Tammy said a few of them. Like, for an example, Dick Cohn, one of the directors, him and Dick was very tall and walked fast, okay? Those of you that got to know him. So I have to tell you this little story. So I was almost 9 months pregnant at the time. And mind you, Dick and Jean attended my wedding, which I was so, grateful. But so we went to a meeting down Truesdale. We were walking. And here I am, little thing, and almost 9 months pregnant. I'm trying to catch up with him, trying to catch up. That night, I went into labor. I kid you not, and I always blamed them. It was your fault, you made me walk fast. You know how they say when you're pregnant and you walk fast or something, it sometimes can induce your labor. So my son Anthony, sitting here right now, he was born premature. So it was he was only 5 pounds when he was born, but those are one of the things that I will always remember. Another thing, one of the students, and this is years ago, okay, one of the students that was doing JEP, and I'm talking back in the day, asked her dad if she can take the whole classroom to Disneyland. And the father said, sure, we'll buy the tickets. And so could you imagine these kids? We're going to Disneyland. They were so excited. That was another thing that I will always remember. And one last one, there's too many, but the program assistants back in the day, they went ahead and made a T-shirt. And the T-shirt, I know Emma always remembers this, it said WWBD. And they came down, all their T-shirts were on, and we're like, WWBD. And when they turned around, in the back it said, what would Brenda do? They always would think about that. Like, okay, if this happened, okay, what would Brenda do? And that meant so much to me. Anyway, the question I often get is, why have you stayed at this job for so long? I get that all the time. People say, oh, you're still there, and oh my God, don't you get tired of the same place? No. And I will tell you why. It's the work that we do. It's so valuable and so much needed. The environment of the office is the support and teamwork. Who wouldn't want to work in a place like this? Oftentimes when PAs leave, they'll come back to visit or something and say, there's never a place like JEP. Oh my God, I loved working there, because they have the support, the love, the teamwork. A large part of JEP's success is due to our long-term partnerships with schools and community-based organizations near the university. Many of the sites that host JEP students have been our partners for more than 40 years. I'm honored to work with all the wonderful and dedicated coordinators that represent these schools and that are here today. So thank you so much for working with me and getting all these students, like they have mentioned, getting about 800 students assigned in 2 days. And actually, Tammy, it's changed. We do it in one. I know. I know we changed it. Instead of 2 days, one day was mini and individual, and the other was mini. Now it's all in one day. Okay, but here's the important thing. What brings me the biggest joy of my job is working with our program assistants. Whew. Okay. I know. Each and every year, I've been blessed to supervise and work with amazing student staff who are smart, hardworking, and inspiring. How special is it tonight to have so many JEP alumni and PAs here? Thank you for coming. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for keeping in touch with us. I know I've seen a few of them that were here 7 years ago, 10 years ago. So many of them come by and always remember JEP. Okay, I need to wrap it up. I will close by saying this award is a reminder of the importance of pursuing passion, pushing boundaries, and staying true to one's vision, no matter the challenges. I hope to continue to grow, learn, and contribute in a meaningful way to JEP's goal and vision. Serve on. Oh, it's beautiful.
Of course, we wouldn't give you anything shabby.
Thank you, girlfriend.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Here, put this one down. Okay, move over.
Make sure you take our good side.
Every side's your good side, Brenda.
Okay, you can't leave yet, though. Oh, so just stay right there. Okay. Wait, this is yours. Okay, let me go back. Okay. All right. We have another special something for you. It's a special note from the namesake of this award, Dana and David Dornsife, who regret that they were unable to be here tonight and asked us to share the following message with you. Dave and I wish to express our sincere gratitude to you, Brenda, for your 50 years of service at JEP, almost as long as JEP has existed. Your dedication to the JEP mission has benefited untold numbers of community members, organizations, and students, while preparing USC students to deliver high-impact programming to those they serve and beyond. You have paved the way to literacy and STEM learning for many generations, too many in their greatest time of need, providing life skills that will be passed on for many more generations to come. You have created a legacy of dignity and hope that makes you an extraordinary awardee of this Dornsife Award for Exceptional Service. Thank you for your devotion and for enriching the Dornsife School of Letters, Arts, and Sciences with your service. With sincere gratitude and congratulations, Dave and Dana Dornsife. And we're still not done. Okay, now I'd like to call to the stage David Galaviz, who is Associate Vice President of Community Partnerships for the, where are you? Oh, there you are. I thought you were over there. David is presenting a commendation on behalf of the Los Angeles City Council.
You weren't supposed to know that.
Oh my God.
Good evening, everybody. How are we all doing tonight? Good. It's an honor to be here with you all. My role with the university, I've been with the university 21 years, and I do have to say, my mother worked here for 25 years before then, so we almost come close to breeding Brenda, but that's two people, right? And you have one Brenda. My role with the university is really to engage our community partners and our elected officials to demonstrate the incredible work that JEP students, that JEP staff, Susan, Tina, Brenda, their whole team, that you all do in our neighborhoods around our campus. And I do have to tell you, sometimes our job can be a little challenging. Sometimes it can be great, but one thing that is very consistent is our electeds and our community partners know, I can't tell you this enough, they know about the benefit and the value that you all provide to our community. And a lot of that is due to the great work, not just of JEP staff, but also of Brenda. They know. I can't tell you that enough. They know. So with that, I would like to present a proclamation from Councilmember Curran Price, who represents our area. They usually do this, but they couldn't be here today, so they extend their apologies. But on behalf of the entire city of Los Angeles, all 4 million residents, and the 9th Council District, we are proud to recognize Brenda for her 50 years of dedicated service to the USC Joint Educational Project. The crucial role you play in fostering community partnerships and supporting K-16 education in South Los Angeles is greatly appreciated and does not go unnoticed. It doesn't. It really doesn't. We commend you for your valuable contributions and wish you continued success in your future endeavors. Signed, Curran Price, Councilmember, 9th District. So on behalf of the City of Los Angeles and the university, I would like to present this to Brenda, a well-deserved honor for someone who is a bright light for the university and our work with the city. Thank you, Brenda.
Thank you.
Yes. Are we done? No.
Okay, I think we're finished.
Okay.
I used this for so long that the battery just lost. So I'm going to go and sit down now. Just want to let you know, dinner is about to be served. So is anyone hungry here? No? Okay. All right. And then after that, we will continue with the program and enjoy your dinner.
Hello. Hi. Good evening, everyone. We will be transitioning to the next portion of our program. We recognize this is a very exciting time, a great room full of family, friends, extended. So, but in service of getting our program, of continuing our program, my name is Sable Manson. I am the Assistant Director for Student Leadership and Development at JEP, and I have been given the privilege of transitioning us to the next part of our program. By all means, please don't feel rushed. You all have just received your desserts and the rest of your meal, so please continue to enjoy as we continue with the remainder of the program. But as you partake, we definitely would like to express our gratitude to the town and gown staff for their exceptional service and support this evening. And before moving to the remainder of the program, on behalf of JEP, I would also like to take a moment to offer some special thanks to some very important people who have contributed to tonight's ceremony. First, I would love to acknowledge our 2025 sponsors. So these include, although they're also referenced in the back of your program, and we also have had it on our screens, but we would love to acknowledge them, Matthew Allen Newman and Dominique Woods, Tammy Anderson and the USC Dornsife Office of Experiential and Applied Learning. Gary Perez, who is the president and CEO of the USC Credit Union. Kim Thomas Barrios, who is the Senior Vice President for USC Educational Partnerships. Nora Ash, who is the chair of the Dornsife Writing Program. And finally, an anonymous donor who has all contributed to helping this program commence this evening. We would also like to thank our award committee members who have reviewed applications and selected tonight's winners. Many of them are listed again in the back of your program. But will anybody who's contributed to this committees, please just raise your hand and be recognized. Thank you. We appreciate you reviewing all of these stellar applications. We had a very robust applicant pool, so we recognize your time has been greatly appreciated. We also want to acknowledge a few friends and partners who make this work possible. Many of them even participating in delivering awards this evening. That includes earlier in our program, David Galaviz, who is the USC Associate Vice President for Community Partnerships, and his counterpart, Joaquin Macias, who is the Senior Executive Director for Local Government and Partnership, for liaising to make sure that we had the acknowledgement for Brenda Pasante from the City Councilman Curran Price's office. We also would like to give a shout out to Carolina Castillos, who is the Director of the Good Neighbors Program. We also would love to acknowledge all those who contribute to GNC because your donations have supported many of the JEP programs that you'll hear about this evening. We also would like to extend a special thanks to many of our donors and our supporters. We truly would not be able to do this work without you. I also would love to offer a special thanks to any students, alumni, community partners, and friends who came here to support Brenda Pasante. If you are in the house, make a little noise for Brenda. Woo! On a personal note, I would like to share that before working full-time for JEP, I was a graduate assistant. And even before I kind of was able to get an insight into the inner workings of JEP, I very quickly realized how essential Brenda is to the making JEP feel so special. So I hope that you certainly feel all the love tonight. It is richly deserved, by all means. If you all are as moved as I've been by the amazing work of Brenda, and of course the other amazing awardees that we're going to hear about tonight, there is an opportunity in your program where you can scan to support both the Brenda Pasante Fund, which you heard about, which supports our student leaders in training, or many of the other JEP programs that we know you all care so much about. So keep that in mind. So in earnestness, we will, with the night still young and many more amazing services and contributors and volunteers to be highlighted, let us welcome Robin Romans, who is the Associate Vice Provost for Arts and Academic Culture, to the stage so that we can begin with the Barbara Siva Gardner Award. Thank you.
Oh, look at that picture there. That's so sweet. Jade, come up here. She's going to be here while we read this. She's going to have to stare back at you, and she's going to have to take all the good wishes of everybody, and hopefully every other awardee will have the same thing. Oh, they've got a script here for me, but I already have it written out here in larger type because these glasses don't go far enough for me. I'm not going to, I want to make sure we give Jade her due, but I'll try to go quickly because otherwise Tammy and Susan will start crying. So this is the Barbara Siva Gardner Award. It's a very important award. In 1972, Barbara Siva Gardner founded the Joint Educational Project with the idea of building bridges between USC and the surrounding community. Today, JEP is the oldest and one of the largest service learning programs in the country. Very proud of that at USC. Many people at JEP still remember, as you've heard tonight, Brenda. Barbara, remember her fighting for what she believed in. Barbara was a visionary. At the time, there were tensions between town and gown, between the community and universities, as there are many universities. And she recognized the power of people coming together and working for a common goal, in this case, building a strong community that was very much more inclusive. She believed, and I think over 50 years of JEP have borne this out, that most people want to come together to help children, right? She was right. JEP's programs have helped foster a better relationship between USC and the surrounding community, and it's enriched the lives of children, and it's enriched the lives of USC students as well. And it's done it for over 5 decades. Barbara served as JEP's first director after it was formed in 1972. The next director, as we've heard, Richard Cohn, who I remember, and I bet Richard remembers, said of Barbara, described her as a bold, creative, and tireless advocate for the community and for women and for minorities on campus. You could never present a problem to her without her coming up with ways to solve it. She spent a lifetime creating ways to solve problems for others. I have a feeling that we have someone here who's got that kind of an approach. Prior to creating JEP, Barbara was a research associate at USC in the Center for Urban Affairs at USC. Before that, she was one of the only women to graduate from Stanford with a civil engineering degree, and that was in 1946, so think how far we're reaching into our history here, but it's actually very much more present than we might think. These experiences inspired her to found JEP, where students could go and teach some vital skills to young children who were a little underserved around USC in their schools. In her own words, she said JEP's goal was to foster intellectual connections between what students, in this case USC students, experience in their community service and what they were studying in their formal classroom. She viewed the two as connected. In addition to her work at JEP, Barbara was also one of the co-founders of something important at USC, the USC Women in Management Group that I've known since I came to USC. And she was a driving force behind the Office of Civic and Community Relations. It was very important to tonight and to lots of things at USC. This all led to, in 2008, the forming of the Barbara Seaver Gardner Award. And it was formed in her honor, obviously. The award recognizes graduating seniors, like Jade here, who through successful participation in JEP have demonstrated that steadfast commitment to community service with an emphasis on the community surrounding USC's campuses. Barbara's goal in establishing JEP was to unite people from the community and USC around the common goal of achieving high quality education, both for our students here at the university and those students around the community as well, all of which we consider part of the Trojan community. Considering this is our 53rd anniversary for JEP, it's clear that her vision has been present in JEP's actions to this day and since have guided JEP's impact to well over 110,000 students and community members. We expect no less of a pioneering spirit from Jane Almodovar, who, like Barbara, has been described as fearless, tenacious, and a visionary leader by some of her peers here at USC and some of her mentors. Jade has served in nearly every JEP program over the last 3 years. 3 years because you came here during the pandemic, right? So you were remote. So she had 3 years to fit in 4 years or more of activity. She was in the Readers Plus alone, where she progressed from a Readers Plus tutor to a site coordinator to the math director, demonstrating leadership and growth of the program and mastery of the program. As a student leader in those positions, Jade mentored JEP student leaders, sharing best practices and building their program's capacity. But there's more. Through her participation in Little Yoginis, did I say that right? Little Yoginis and Wonder Kids, Jade transformed Norwood Elementary, one of our local elementary schools, their after-school programs, adding much more activities for engaging students around and after class. JEP service learning programs, Jade participated in multiple mini-course team assignments, teaching human anatomy and physiology to 4th and 5th graders. It says here that you did that with hands-on activities. We'll hear about that later. Jade also joined Trojan Health Volunteers and was a COPE Health Scholar, supporting healthcare staff and providing direct patient care at Adventist White Memorial Hospital, one of our local hospitals. Jade has consistently been among the first to volunteer and to be an ambassador for JEP programs at activities like career fairs, health fairs, and the Festival of Books, just to name a few. In addition to everything else she already does for JEP, this semester she stepped in when there was a critical staffing need in the front office, and she helped as a returning math director when another student kind of had to step away for something. Most recently, Jade volunteered to help with a new collaboration between the USC Rossier School of Education and JEP, and she recruited and coordinated over 30 volunteers, panelists, and performers for a College Access Day, which happened just last week. There's no stopping Jade, as you can see. As she puts it herself, these are her words, "My community service has taught me so much about what's important. During my engagement with my community, I gained humility, compassion, and love of teaching. When I first started in JEP, I thought my experience was going to be centered around what I teach others. But as I continued, it became apparent that it was more about what they taught me. For her endless energy, spirit of volunteerism, and deep commitment to community, USC and JEP are proud to honor Ms. Jade Almodovar with the Barbara Seaver Gardner Award. And now, can you help me welcome Jesus Diaz? Did I say that right? Is it Jesus Diaz? Jesus, Jesus, okay.
How's everyone doing? The food was so good. Can I make a recommendation for next year? Can we get a sampler plate? Because I wanted to try everyone's dishes. Everything looked amazing. It's an absolute honor to be here tonight, celebrating and recognizing the incredible work of those involved in JEP. My name is Jesus Diaz, and I proudly served as a USC reader from 2001 to 2005. It's just about 2-3 years ago. That included my role as a site coordinator at Norwood Elementary School from 2002 to 2005. As a USC reader, I had the wonderful opportunity to find creative ways to engage elementary school students in reading. These experiences profoundly shaped my career as a pediatric occupational therapist, inspiring me to use creativity into my therapy sessions to better support my patients. Today, I am the Associate Chair of Culture, Community, and Belonging at the USC's Division of Occupational Science and Therapy. My role as a site coordinator provided me with my first meaningful experiences in developing leadership, mentorship, and program development skills that continue to serve me well in my current role. I am eternally grateful to the JEP team, to Tina, to Brenda, to Tammy, to Susan, and everyone else for their mentorship, their guidance, and their belief in my potential. Now, I'm here to present the Desiree Benson Award. This award was established in 2000 by the USC Financial Aid Office. This award honors the life, work, and spirit of Desiree Benson, a dedicated and inspiring work-study student. Desiree, a business major from Los Angeles, Compton, and Inglewood, was a cherished member of the USC Readers Plus program. Tragically, she passed away unexpectedly during her senior year. The Desiree Benson Work-Study Grant was created to pay tribute to her contributions to the community and her unwavering dedication to service. It recognizes students who, like Desiree, are committed to making a difference and using their talents to inspire others. Desiree once shared, "I bring a wealth of knowledge and experience of the inner city community to the program, and I will be able to relate to these children as they are now where I once stood." This award celebrates those who embody her legacy of service and leadership, ensuring her spirit continues to inspire future generations. We would like to thank Lance Wright and Evelyn Lopez from the USC Financial Aid Office, as well as Samantha Morales from our Dornsife Business Office, who are all wonderful partners in supporting our programs and work-study students. Would the three of you please rise to be recognized? Or two. Thank you. We also want to say thank you to Gerlin and Lavelle Benson and the entire Benson family. Family, please stand. Now, tonight's award is being presented to Tracy Wang. Tracy Wang, come join us up here on the stage. don't get to say all the wonderful things that you do, Tracy. Now, Tracy is a sophomore majoring in human development and aging. Tracy has been involved in a wide variety of community service over the years, beginning as the founder and leader of the Hope and Help organization since 2021, advocating for elderly individuals who have been mistreated or abused in a long-term care facility through blog posts, social media campaigns, and collaborations with the National Center on Elder Abuse. Tracy is cultural chair for the Student Gerontology Association, an outreach director for the Dialogue Society, working closely with seniors residing in long-term care facilities such as Piedmont Retirement Home, as well as a student worker with the USC Amoretti Center, where she plays a vital role in fostering connections between the university and its retired faculty and staff, helping to ensure retirees remain an active part of the Trojan family by facilitating communication and organizing engagement opportunities. Through programs like the monthly Trojan Table intergenerational gatherings, Tracy helps bridge generational divides, creating spaces where retirees can share their expertise and experiences with younger members of the USC community. And as if all of that wasn't enough, Tracy also mentors incoming USC Spring Admin students as part of the Spring Mentorship Program, providing guidance and emotional support as they transition to university life. And she serves as a STEM instructor with JEP's Young Scientist Program, where she teaches hands-on science lessons to second-grade students at John Mack Elementary School. This all combined, Tracy has devoted approximately 2,591 hours of community service. In her application, Tracy speaks of what she has gained through her devoted service. My community service work has given me a greater sense of purpose and responsibility, reinforcing my commitment to inclusivity and making a positive difference in the lives of others. These experiences have made me a more effective and compassionate leader, honing my problem-solving skills, empathy, and ability to work with people from different backgrounds. Please join me in congratulating Tracy Wang on this award. It is now my pleasure to introduce Ingrid Steiner, Associate Director of Faculty Development for the USC Center for Excellence in Teaching, who will be presenting our next award.
So tonight we have the distinct honor of celebrating two individuals. There we go. Two individuals whose vision and dedication are truly reshaping both our USC student community and our USC neighborhood community. Please join me in extending a heartfelt congratulations to Professors Kate Levin and Nick DeDominic, this year's winners of the JEP Award for Community Engaged Teaching. Please come join me. Kate and Nick are the driving force behind the USC Dornsife Prison Education Project and the deeply impactful course, Writing 320 Inside Out. Now, this isn't your typical classroom experience. It's a space where traditionally enrolled USC undergraduates learn side by side with incarcerated students. Nick and Kate recognize that education flourishes when diverse perspectives converge and learn from one another's lived experiences. This innovative approach fosters critical reflection, deepens understanding, and cultivates a sense of shared humanity. Their work also extends beyond the classroom. Through strong community partnerships, they collaborate with the Gould School of Law and the Social Impact Center to run expungement clinics, directly removing obstacles to opportunity for community members. And here on campus, they lead programming that challenges preconceived notions about incarceration, inviting the USC community to engage in critical conversations. The culmination of their Inside Out course is a testament to the power of this engagement, a professionally published anthology showcasing student work, celebrated at an on-campus event that amplifies voices often unheard. Kate and Nick's work reminds us that the education happens when we actively engage with and uplift all members of our community. Please join me in congratulating Kate and Nick, two individuals who are not just teaching, but truly transforming USC student lives and our USC community.
Great. Well, thank you all. I really appreciate that. Ingrid did the wonderful thing where she has her remarks at like a 14 or 16 point type. I did not, so suffer through this with me. Firstly, I want to say, Brenda, Tammy, if there are any of those JEP sweatshirts with the grid and the cursive, those are hard. I would like one. So if they show up. I'm going to sort of talk about our program broadly and kind of give you the overview, and then Kate's going to read some work from our latest student anthology. I apologize. ChatGPT didn't realize it was writing this for the both of us, so there's some individualized stuff there. Firstly, I want to thank Associate Dean Tammy Anderson for sort of giving the Prison Education Project a home at USC. She's helped to sort of make experiential learning just a vital part of our student experience. At many universities, it's sort of, I don't know, not always integral. And I think what Tammy has been able to see is the exchange between the outside and the inside is critical to our sort of learning from each other. The Prison Education Project was originally under the umbrella of a different program. They changed directions. We won't mention them. And we were orphaned, and we were probably gonna shutter. And Tammy changed that. She saw something in us, and I'm deeply grateful for her vision. On the surface level, we don't really make sense in EXL's portfolio. They take students to Paris to look at art museums. They take students to DC to partake in our political process. And we're like, Kyle, suit up. We're going to Supermax in Chino. It's just been, it doesn't make sense. But I think what Tammy saw and we've come to realize is that we're sending our students into the world to make a real change. And that's precisely at the heart of EXL's mission. I want to thank you for seeing that. I want to thank Amber Harris and the entire EXL team for supporting our work. They really do make this happen. I want to thank Lika and Mark for helping us navigate really complex registrar processes to ensure our incarcerated students get credit, are considered USC students. They have student IDs, they have emails. They are very much part of our community. I'd like to thank Susan Harris and the entire team at JEP. JEP has laid the groundwork for so many programs like ours to engage in meaningfully and most importantly, ethically, to engage with the broader community. JEP builds the pathways that makes this kind of work possible. And words like this don't just celebrate that work, they allow it to sort of flourish and make it grow. I'm also incredibly grateful to Kate. Her imagination has helped shape what's possible with this work. I admit I'm frustrated with having to split the award with her. I was planning on buying eggs. Now I will not be able to. But really, she keeps me grounded. I've been teaching in prison since 2006, and this is the first award I've ever received for it. That's almost 20 years, so it means a lot to me, it means a lot to Kate, and it also means one of two things. I've finally gotten decent at it, or maybe the world is starting to recognize the value of this kind of work. I hope it's a little bit of both. One of PEP's guiding principles, and we've heard a lot about community tonight, is that incarcerated people are part of our community. This is important to remember. We use incarceration in this country as a cudgel, as a one-size-fits-all fix for larger social problems like mental health, housing, drug misuse, racism, but it doesn't work like that. And in fact, it only reifies those issues. USC is located in a neighborhood with one of the highest arrest rates in the country. Many of our students, our neighbors, our colleagues are directly or indirectly affected by incarceration. And it's our responsibility as a university rooted in South Central Los Angeles and as an institution that may have played a role, it did play a role, in that policing to help right some of those wrongs and to make the lives of our community members better. We founded PEP almost a decade ago. It started with one class. I had taught in prisons in Alabama and Louisiana before coming to USC. Kate approached me about her interest in this work, and one Friday afternoon at my tiny breakfast table in a terrible little house in Atwater, we started cold calling prisons, literally dialing correctional facilities, asking, can we come in and teach a class? They said, we don't have any money. We said, we will do it for free. And they said, who are you again? Why would you want to do that? The prisons at the time didn't get us, but fortunately, too, that's changed. Our partners now recognize this work as a vital tool in changing lives. Since then, we've trained dozens of USC faculty to teach and learn from their students inside. We worked with hundreds of on-campus students and over 1,000 incarcerated students and writers through our classes and our Reader's Circle program. We've gone beyond the classroom, as Ingrid pointed out, offering community-based expungement workshops, narrative workshops, hosting dozens of events on campus to help shift this narrative around incarceration and to truly build a prison-to-college pipeline. This work has never been solitary. It's collaborative at every level. PEP's strength has always come from this collective effort and so many hands and voices coming together to say, this matter, this people matter. And I want to say, especially now, how vital this collective voice is. In a moment where our histories are being erased and where the rights of our most vulnerable people and institutions like ours are being challenged and trampled on every day, these thoughts and possibilities are under attack. Our power, our real power, comes from our ability to stand together. Education is not neutral. Community engagement is not neutral. These are acts of care. They're acts of solidarity. To paraphrase Ruth Wilson Gilmore, this work is about presence, not absence. It's about showing up and building life-affirming institutions where life is precious. Life is precious. And when we act together, we don't just imagine a better world, we build better futures. We create that possibility. So thank you again for this work, this award, this work. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for walking with us together in this work as community. Hand it over to Kate.
So I really deserve an award for attempting to follow the Nick to Dominic show, so I'll gratefully accept that. No, I'll be very brief. So teaching, as many of us know, is an ephemeral experience. Just as they say, you never step into the same river twice, you never teach the same class twice, right? So we like to have our Writing 320 class, this inside-out workshop that Nick described, culminate in the publication of a book that includes a memoir piece from every participant in the class, right? Whether they're traditionally enrolled on-campus USC students or incarcerated students. As Nick said, I had been planning to, read a little bit of a student's work, but the reality is I could not pick one piece, that was representative of the kind of entire class experience, right? And that in and of itself, I think, is emblematic of the community that we get to experience via this class, right? So if you were to read, this is last year's book, if you were to read through it, and please, if anyone would like a copy, just, come up to me and Nick, and we'd be glad to get you one. You would encounter essays about absurd childhood memories and love and death and just all kinds of silly stuff, and also violence and immigration stories, right? This whole kaleidoscope, right, of human experience. And I guarantee you that as you read through the book, you would not be able to tell, okay, which essays were written by the on-campus USC students and which essays were written by the incarcerated students, right? Because the reality is, okay, we're all tied together by all of these human experiences, and it's been a really great and just unimaginable privilege each year to get to bring people together and experience them finding their voices to tell these stories, right? So especially as Nick alluded to and as Susan described earlier, especially at a moment in time when there is a lot of criminalization, where there's a lot of stigmatization, right? Where there's even the disappearing of individuals and groups that some find socially inconvenient, right, or unacceptable. We are so proud and feel so lucky to have the support to continue work that humanizes everybody, that lifts up everybody, and we thank you so much for being a part of that with us.
And now I'd like to welcome Lynette Merriman, Associate Vice Provost, Campus Support and Intervention, who is going to present the JEP scholarships.
I'm trusting what's in here as opposed to bringing my own up. What a wonderful evening tonight. It's just wonderful seeing everybody and the tremendous accomplishments of our students here. I want to thank JEP for this opportunity to be a part of this evening. And I have been a friend and a fan of JEP for many years. Although I personally did not participate, I wasn't able to do so. I have known of its impactful contributions to our local community and to our students. I support JEP because it enriches and transforms lives, making this, our community, a better place. Tonight I have the honor of presenting the Grace Ford Salvatore and Faith in Him Foundation Community Service Scholarships. Each year, exceptional students in the Dornsife College of Letters, Arts, and Sciences are awarded $10,000 community service scholarships in recognition of their outstanding commitment to community service, academic excellence, and student leadership. These scholarships are designed to support students who are deeply engaged in service work and who demonstrate a passion for creating positive change in their communities. For decades, these scholarships and this dinner have been made possible through the generosity of the family of Henry Salvatore and Grace Ford Salvatore. This year, we are grateful for the Faith in Him Foundation, which sponsored an additional scholarship. Together, these two entities affirm a shared belief that supporting students who lead with integrity, compassion, and purpose strengthen not only our university, but society as a whole. Our first award is the Grace Ford Salvatore Community Service Scholarship. This year's recipient is Annalise Young. Annalise, if you could come up here. Annalise is a sophomore majoring in biological sciences with a minor in healthcare studies. During her high school years, she was very involved in community service and has carried that passion on here at USC. She volunteers with the Multiracial Angle Closure Progression Study, recruiting and screening patients for glaucoma on the Health Sciences campus. Annalise has shared that her involvement within this program has reinforced her desire to serve others in a more direct, patient-focused setting. Annalise has shared that the experience has deepened her empathy and confirmed for her the important role she can play in bridging the accessibility gap in healthcare. One of her recommenders shared that Annalise is a compassionate educator with a great ability to connect with and communicate with patients, breaking down complex medical information into accessible language. Another shared that she works seamlessly with both students and senior researchers, demonstrating respect, curiosity, and a willingness to learn. Annalise's enthusiasm is contagious. Annalise has dedicated her time to tutoring and mentoring students in underserved school districts, working hard to close the academic gaps. Please join me in congratulating awardee Annalise Young as the recipient of the Grace Ford Salvatore Community Service Award. Our next award is the Faith in Him Community Service Scholarship. This year's recipient is Mia Moore. Could you come up here? Mia is a junior majoring in health and human sciences with a minor in law and social justice. She is involved in multiple community service activities at USC. She serves as a STEM educator and fifth grade coordinator with USC's JEP Young Scientists program, teaching hands-on science lessons to students at 32nd Street School. Through JEP's Wonder Kids program, Mia co-develops and teaches interactive after-school science workshops at local elementary schools and introducing them to STEM careers. She is also a Trojan Health volunteer at the LA General Medical Center, a board member and committee chair with the Norman Topping Student Aid Fund, and this past January volunteered through different organizations for the wildfire relief here in Southern California. In describing her JEP experiences, Mia says that watching her students' faces light up when she walks into the classroom each week is one of her many treasured moments. One of her recommenders shared that she is an exceptional leader, leading by example while fostering collaboration. Another recommender shared that Mia demonstrates exceptional character and a passion for making a real impact. Mia shares that her passion for sciences is her way of paying forward the investment her teachers made in her. Please join me in congratulating awardee Mia Moore as the recipient of the Faith in Him Community Service Scholarship. Join me again in congratulating these two amazing USC scholars. Now it is my pleasure to introduce JEP and USC alumna Mariah Cohn with Holomi Consulting. Her father, as you've heard, was a true leader here for this organization. Thank you.
Hi. All right. Thank you all for coming and for being here. My name's Mariah Cohn. I'm Dick Cohn's daughter, the namesake of this Cohn Award. I'm also a JEP program assistant and was a program assistant for much of my college career. And I grew up on the lawn outside of JEP. I had Brenda Passante come to our house for every Christmas party. and pool party growing up. I knew her from a very, very young age. My dad would be so proud. All right, so before I share about our awardee tonight, I'd love to tell you a little bit about my dad. To many, Dick was considered one of the pioneers of service learning, and to me, he was my hero. He came from deep poverty, getting his first indoor bathroom when he was 11. This childhood experience steeped him in a deep appreciation for the humanity of those who were less fortunate. As a Peace Corps volunteer in his early 20s, he got his early start in service and returned home deeply imprinted by his experience, having learned so much from his Turkish community. Later in his work as the director of the Joint Educational Project, he would often remind us that we weren't working to provide charitable work in the community to help those less unfortunate, but rather we were helping students and communities learn from one another. That through service, we learn about other cultures, other lived realities, other perspectives. For him, sending USC students in the community was as much about helping generations of college students have a much more expansive learning experience that would influence their future service orientations and inclusive mindsets about culture. Let's see. Do I have? USC has a strong undergraduate student engagement with thousands of students devoting time, energy, and passion to support community organizations. And while applying emerging knowledge and skills named in honor of Richard Dick Cohn, the Dick Cohn Award for Graduate Engaged Scholarship is intended to honor and elevate the efforts of graduate students who bring advanced awareness and skills to address specific community concerns. Dick was the beloved director of the USC Joint Educational Project from 1980 until 2002, and considered a pioneer in the field of service learning and community engagement. Driven by a deep commitment to social justice and education, Dick effectively pushed universities to reconsider the role they play in their communities, and he was instrumental in bringing national recognition to USC's K-12 partnership. I'm very, very proud to award Maya Hotchkiss with the Dick Cohn Award. And Maya, if you could join up. So I'll tell you a little bit about what Maya has done in her research. Maya is an LGBTQ scholar activist committed to a community-engaged research addressing health, safety, and survival disparities within the LGBTQ populations. Their work integrates research, service, and grassroots organizing to ensure community-led solutions. Developed and sustained community-centered research projects and collaborating with LGBTQ serving organizations. They co-authored scholarly work that elevates community voices. Doctoral research at USC focuses on suicide prevention among LGBTQ youth experiencing homelessness, emphasizing participatory research and direct community involvement. And from the award committee members, they commented, there's too many reasons to list here, but this student's work is what I imagine when I think of engaged scholarship. The emphasis on making sure there is a path to community ownership of any and all projects, exempling co-authoring publications with community members, training community members to take leadership roles, commitment to creating programs that persist beyond my direct involvement and continue to serve the community over time, and highlights the value of community engagement before and outside of the context of the research initiative. This quote summarizes a lot of the students' efforts, that engagement must extend beyond research contexts and be rooted in a genuine desire to bolster community well-being through responsiveness to real-time gaps and unmet needs. What struck me most about Maya's amazing accomplishments and purposeful contributions to the LGBT community is her orientation to solving problems with those who are experiencing the problem directly. This is a key to sustainable and impactful equity work to empower trust and lean on those communities we are working to support. Maya doesn't take the approach that she knows more, that is acting the hero to help those who cannot help themselves. She believes that to do her work, to make a difference, she must partner with LGBTQ serving organizations and work alongside them to co-create solutions to questions as big as suicide prevention. My father would have loved this award going to Maya. And now I'm going to introduce Kara Lemma to the stage, USC and JEP alumna and 2001 winner of the Extraordinary Community Service Award.
Thank you so much, Mariah. Good evening, everyone. Excellent. I like this. I'm really pleased to be here tonight to do three things. We're going to honor, number one. Number two, we're going to celebrate. And number three, I'm going to brag about our Extraordinary Community Service Awardee for 2025. Before I do that, I've been asked, I wouldn't do this normally, but I've been asked to share with you a little bit about how winning this award 24 years ago, I am now middle-aged, solidly at 45, with a head of gray hair. So I've got to tell you about how that award has impacted me, both personally and professionally, over my career, my 25-year career in philanthropy and education. So I will do that for a minute. Thankfully, I really viewed the honor as not necessarily about being recognized for a job well done, but rather I saw it as a challenge to serve more. This was before we had Serve On. And I really hope that I'm doing that. And more importantly, I hope that my husband, who is an educator, and I are teaching our 11-year-old son to do the same. So what do? I'm an education researcher and a statistician. I work all the way across town at Loyola Marymount University in the School of Education. At LMU, my colleagues and I work to change the culture of K through 12 school communities to foster a culture that is committed to mental wellness and promoting inclusive education. What am I motivated by? Our university's motto, which is Cura Personalis, which translates to, it's Latin, of course, my Latin's terrible, care of the whole person. And our tagline also inspires me, which is create a brighter future. We can create a brighter future for our students everywhere by weaving mental wellness and inclusive environments into the fabric of our schools. While I love being an LMU Lion, I want to assuage your fears. I'm a JEP alum and a triple Trojan before anything else. Yes. I stopped by the band office and I borrowed a jacket. And that's why, honestly, being a Trojan is an honor for me to be able to be here tonight to present this year's award. Let's talk about the award. This prestigious award was established in 1981 by Henry and Grace Ford Salvatore to recognize one graduating senior or progressive master degree student for his, her, or their significant service to the communities surrounding both the UPC and HSC campuses. Esteemed guests, please join me in welcoming Yvette Castañeda to the stage. Come on up. It's time for me to brag about your impressive accomplishments to this entire room of people. Let's take a minute. Come closer. You don't need to stand on the X. I'm Italian. We like to come a little closer. There we go. That way I feel like I'm talking to you, right? It's not awkward, I promise. No, it's not. All right. So Yvette's going to graduate next month with her bachelor's degree in philosophy, politics, and law. I mean, I don't know about you, but that sounds like 3 majors rolled into one. You know, Trojans have always been known to be overachievers, so congratulations. And wait, there's more. She is minoring in education policy, which is exciting. Wowza. Now let's talk about some of her service. She worked at the Children's Defense Fund and advocated for the removal of armed school safety officers after the tragic murder of Manda Rodriguez in Long Beach Unified School District. She interviewed community members. She organized an event for those impacted by the school-to-prison pipeline to share their stories with policymakers, and she monitored LAUSD policy developments. Wow. She was a policy fellow with the Los Angeles Civil and Human Rights Equity Department. She produced videos highlighting influential Black media figures for the Voices of LA event attended by 50+ local politicians. She designed and executed a women in government panel attracting 100 attendees and created informational pamphlets about department services. She worked with Cluet Law and supported justice for an incarcerated Latino individual in Los Angeles. She is the president and co-founder of the League of Latin American United Citizens at USC. It's not easy to do that. And she established the university's first Latino rights student organization and organized clinics. She worked with Dignity and Power Now, and she established a partnership with the League of Latin American United Citizens and Dignity and Power for expungement clinics, and she assisted 20 individuals in clearing their criminal records. I mean, wow, this is a lot, and you're 21? Just 20, okay. Okay, you can vote. She worked at Readers Plus, and she served as a tutor and coordinator at Norwood Elementary School. She was one of 10 students selected for Agents of Change, the nation's first undergraduate civil rights clinic. But wait, there's more. She interned for Senator Alex Padilla in Washington, D.C. Yvette went to Washington. Amazing. So I'm going to talk about what you said about your service. She writes in her application, "When I look back at the person I was when I first stepped onto USC's campus and compare her to who I am now, it feels like we're worlds apart. The person writing this today carries more than just knowledge and experiences. I carry the stories of people I have been blessed to serve, their lessons of resilience, and a heart that burns to serve and fight for underprivileged communities. Fight for underprivileged communities." What did her recommenders say about her? "I strongly recommend Yvette for this award because she exemplifies an unwavering commitment to community service. She's not only dedicated her time and skills to serving others, but has also taken the initiative to connect USC students with grassroots organizations like Dignity and Power Now. Yvette's leadership, passion for social justice, and hands-on contributions make her an outstanding candidate for this recognition." And that's Michael Saavedra from the legal support lead, who's the legal support lead at Dignity and Power Now. And our own Tina Konechny, who's the JEP Associate Director of Administration and Educational Outreach, had this to say: "Yvette has truly made a significant impact on our community and continues to embody the spirit of service that the award celebrates. Yvette is a shining example of the positive change that dedicated individuals can bring to their communities." So here's my part. As I was reflecting, Yvette, on your amazing accomplishments, I was reminded of USC's motto, which is right here on the seal. I'll read it for you again. My Latin is terrible. "Palmum qui meruit ferat," which according to the USC website, loosely translates to, "Let whoever earns the palm bear it." The expression reflects the broad significance of palms, palm fronds, and other branches of foliage as a symbol of triumph, victory, ascension, and regeneration in ancient times. And it may even allude to the Roman custom of giving the victorious gladiator a palm branch as a reward for prowess. Now, what strikes me here as important is that although Yvette, thank God you're not a Roman gladiator in the traditional sense, you embody the gladiator, JEP, Trojan spirit of fighting on and serving on. Now, I don't know if you know this, but the palm tree is revered in many of the world's spiritual and religious traditions, and it signifies knowledge and resilience. And these are themes that you wrote about in your application. And I think that your track record of service reflects these characteristics. If you really think about it, a palm tree takes years and years to grow. The rings around the base tell us about the knowledge it possesses. It produces beautiful, bright flowers that attract bees. The palm fronds provide edible fruit that, interestingly enough, I did try this once. Makes a nice jelly spread if you add enough sugar to it. Really cook it down. The palm fronds give shade to those who need it. The pods that encase the flower and the fruit have often been used for paper, for shelter, and for crafts. Yvette, you are like the palm tree. And your combination of education and service represent the gifts of that palm tree. So I'm going to take a moment I like to present gifts. It makes it kind of fun for me. So here we go. Here's your first gift. It's a bucket hat, which that was trending in 2000 when I was a student. And it has some palm fronds on it, so maybe that'll represent the shade of the palm tree. You can return it if you don't like it.
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
And here's my second gift. The second is a bunch of palm fronds that I cultivated on my way here. I didn't have any scissors in the car, but I happen to have a box cutter. Don't ask me about why I have a box cutter. I'm Italian. And I was able to sort of harvest these palm fronds from a baby palm tree. Pray for the baby palm tree. So I have a palm frond for you to celebrate your prowess as the gladiator of service. Okay, hold on. Wait. I got to give you the right one. So there we go. It's this one. I think we'll wave the palm frond. And Yvette, I have 2 palm fronds for you to give to your parents. Yeah. Leo and Patricia are here. Patricia. Take a moment to honor them for their support of you and their unwavering support of you and your commitment to service, right? For helping your tree to grow. And I have one for you to give to Brenda Passante, who undoubtedly has influenced you as well as generations of JEP staff members. And I have another bunch. This is sort of like the free bunch that you can give out. And I'd like for you to give that to your mentors, your friends, if you have a partner, those that you love, anybody that has supported you in your endeavors. And I have one last thing to say, well, 2. On graduation day, which, as we all know, is this momentous occasion, when you are awarded with your hard-earned degree, I want you to stop for a moment and take a look at a palm tree on campus and take note that the palm tree grows tall and never stops. Yvette, you've earned the palm. keep bearing it. Please, everyone here, wait, where's my phone? Join me in congratulating Yvette Castaneda, this year's stellar Extraordinary Community Service Award winner. And what I'd like you to do is give her a loud fight on and serve on in 3, 2, 1, go. Got to play the fight song at some point, okay? Yvette's going to now share a few words with you. Congratulations. I'll put this back for you. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I'm really honored and humbled to receive this award tonight. I want to thank the selection committee, Brenda, and of course everyone at JEP, especially Tina for always supporting me, and everyone at Readers Plus for always being there for me. Shout out to you guys. And yeah, I think in receiving this award, I go back to freshman year me. When I first stepped foot onto campus, I think I had a bit of a rocky road in getting here. It wasn't always smooth. So I was really nervous when I got here. I was really unsure of myself, and honestly, I didn't really know if I had made the right decision in coming to USC. But my very first semester, I was very fortunate to find Readers Plus. Yeah, and that was, I think that Readers Plus really genuinely changed the trajectory of my college experience and also what I want to do in the future. It gave me direction by allowing me to serve the community while also providing me with an amazing group of people who genuinely care about serving others. Through my work with Readers Plus, I started tutoring elementary school students who were behind in reading and math, and just seeing how deeply systemic inequality shaped these students' lives and their opportunities really impacted me. And I saw how a lot of the students I worked with are super brilliant, kind, and creative, but they had so many barriers that they face, like underfunded schools, language barriers, trauma, instability at home. And I think this really fueled my passion for education equity and really pushed me to think beyond the classroom. And that's when I started to look at larger systems that affect students' lives. And this led me to join Agents of Change, which is our undergraduate civil rights clinic here at USC. Through this, as was mentioned, I worked with the Children's Defense Fund and their education equity department. And I had the opportunity to work with community members to research the school-to-prison pipeline and advocate for the end of these policies that seek to push students out of the classroom, especially those students of color, and into the criminal legal system. And my work really helped me understand that what begins as an issue of education a lot of the times can become an issue of criminal justice. And I learned that if we want to end these cycles of incarceration, we have to start in schools by supporting and investing in every child. From Readers Plus, I continued my service with LA Civil Rights, LULAC, and now assistant attorney in a wrongful convictions case. And through every internship, service event, and project, I've really come to learn that service is more than simply helping people. To me, service is about walking with people. It's about listening to their stories. It's about learning from them. And most importantly, it's about allowing these relationships to change you. I'm really fortunate to leave USC filled with all of these stories of the people that I've been lucky enough to work with and support students, families, and community members. I think one of the most transformative experiences for me here at USC has been working with formerly incarcerated people through Dignity and Power Now and helping them rebuild their lives. This work really challenged me at first. I think it's really easy to judge people from a distance, and we often see people involved in the criminal legal system and think that that could never be us, that we're somehow better people and would never find ourselves in that situation. I think what my work has really taught me is that given the right circumstances, that really could be any of us. Sitting across from them, listening to their stories, sitting with them, and listening to the stories that are often shaped by trauma, abuse, and hardships, and then also hearing them express their genuine desire to change and grow really opened my eyes. Through this work, I learned that no one should be judged by their worst mistakes. that people can and do change, and that everyone deserves second chances. Through this work, I learned to have an open heart and mind, to listen deeply, to judge less harshly, and to really embrace the power of redemption. I think that right now, as everyone has kind of shared, there is a lot going on in this country, and it can be really difficult to do this kind of work sometimes. However, today, I hope that in sharing my work today, that you guys are all reminded that while we can't control what's going on in the world, what we can do is show up and serve the people around us. So thank you once again for this recognition and for encouraging me to keep going and doing the work that I love to do. And finally, I can't end this speech without thanking my parents. Thank you so much for supporting me, and most importantly, for giving me a life where I can do the work that I love and I'm passionate about, and for always teaching me to care and stand up for others. Thank you.
Let me just walk you back.
Hello, everyone. Man, what a night. It's been truly remarkable, filled with light and hope, a much-needed respite from these really uncertain and crazy times. I hope that the dedication and achievements of our awardees may inspire us to embrace courage and stand firm in doing what is right, not just for ourselves, but for the common good of all. As we conclude this special night, I'd like to share a poem by Rudyard Kipling, the poem If, that he wrote for his son in 1895. It has a timeless message, though I have changed the words ever so slightly to modernize them and make them more inclusive. May its words resonate deeply, reminding us to find inner strength even when the world feels troubled. Let us guide us forward as we continue to strive for a brighter, better tomorrow. If you can keep your head about you when all are losing, let me start again. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when others doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired of waiting, or be lied about, don't deal in lies. Or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good or talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster, and treat those two impostures just the same. If you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you've gave your life to, broken, and stoop and build them up with worn-out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it in one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they're gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all others count with you, but none too much. If you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and, which is more, you'll be humane, my dear one. Before we end the evening, which we will in just a moment, I'd like to ask all present and former PAs to hold tight because we'd like to have you come to the stage to take a picture with Brenda. But thank you all so very much for joining us tonight, for spending your evening with us. Be safe, drive safely home, have a wonderful night, and serve on. Oh, We have one more thing, it seems. It's a surprise.
I just really quickly wanted to thank Susan Harris and the JEP team. Putting on this event for like 35 years, I know how difficult it is. It's a lot of work and a lot of moving parts. And I just want to congratulate you, Susan. This was a beautiful event. And I know how hard you and Sharon and everybody at JEP worked so hard for this. So just thank you very much. It was beautiful. Good night.